This time on Second Chance Ohana.
Hey guys, today we have this super fun personal project, this vintage record player. Some of you know that I manage a coffee shop, and at this coffee shop we needed a self-serve station, a place where our customers can pour themselves water, add sugar and cream to their coffees, and rather than just doing a little boring bookcase, we decided that we wanted this piece to really reflect the brand of the coffee shop. So we host live music a couple times a week, trivia every week. And so since we're a very retro coffee shop and we have a huge emphasis on music, we thought it'd be so fun to bring in retro and music into this piece. So join me as we see if we can give this baby a second chance. Aloha, I'm Dani. In 2016, I moved from Maui to Arizona with my husband so we could be closer to my mom and pops who lived just a few miles away. On our journey, Kyle and I expanded our family by adopting 3 tweens and Bartley, who helps make sure everyone feels like part of the Ohana. Mom and I love to hunt for used furniture and restore it because it's so much fun to be creative, use power tools, and of course, make money. And because like people, sometimes furniture just needs a second chance. I had been searching high and low on Marketplace for a vintage record player, but I had very specific dimensions that this piece is going to go in the shop. This piece doesn't actually need to work, so we picked up this one and it doesn't function. They need new cords, new all sorts of things. Which is fine because it's really just a decorative piece for the coffee shop. But it was the right size. So I found it. The woman had it listed there for a while. I feel like I overpaid. We paid $70 for this. But it was exactly what I needed and I have a lot of fun ideas for it. So I think it's going to be worth it in the long run.
Well, it's so fun. So what are the biggest challenges you see in fixing this up?
I mean, I don't know about challenges yet, but I do know there's going to need to be a lot of work done. I mean, you can see there's even paint on this, and I'm not a fan of these bat wing handles. And we want to get the speakers cleaned up because they're really dusty and grody in there. So it's just going to be a lot of sanding, a lot of painting, but hopefully there's no surprise challenges. Hopefully it's just like any other normal piece that we fix up.
All right. So it sounds like our game plan going forward is that I'm gonna do the grunt work as always, and I'm gonna get this piece cleaned up, sanded, build a base, and then hand it off to you, and so you can make it pretty.
You're gonna build the base? Cool. Thanks.
Well, with some help from my husband.
Now I need to find a really good album to keep here that everyone finds interesting when they open it as their secret surprise.
That would be fun.
It will be. So let's get started.
All right, let's do it. Let's get started with a good cleaning. Here I'm using Dawn soap, which I sprayed on, and boy, did that rag get dirty. We didn't like the look of the base on this, so decided to try to take it off and put on some mid-century modern legs. My husband and our friend Jim kind of got together and collaborated on how to cut this thing off. It's not often that you get to look inside of a piece that's 75 years old. This must have been very high tech for the time. Boy, those grills were filthy. So I cleaned them up in the sink And then I used paint on gold paint instead of spray-in paint because I wanted them to look like they were still old. I'm mixing up some Bondo to use on the bottom of the skirt. When we cut it, it came out just a little bit uneven and we wanted a straighter edge. I don't think you can really see the temperature reading here, but it is 97 degrees and it's been that way for the last month and a half. I love using the frog tape, it's the best, but it takes a lot of time to get it right. The wood on this piece is mahogany and is just a gorgeous color. It didn't need any stain at all. I'm just using some wipe-on poly to protect the surface. This is how you don't spray paint.
All right, the end project is done, our record cabinet. I've always wanted to do a record cabinet, so I love that we got to do this for my coffee shop. So what were the biggest challenges with this piece, Mom?
The biggest challenge was absolutely trying to figure out how to cut the skirt off so that it looked good and attach the legs underneath. And thankfully, you know, I used my husband and one of our friends to really, you know, help with that woodworking because I'm just not good at woodworking.
So we brought it a little more mid-century, a little more to the 50s, 60s with the legs that we've added, which has given it such a fun retro feel instead of as vintage. The owner is so happy. The colors are awesome. It looks great in the shop. And I just love that there's that secret surprise that if our customers are feeling curious or inquisitive, they can open it up, see the really cool radio, open up the record player and see the record we have sitting in there. It's just such a fun conversation starter at the shop, and it's a blast.
You know, I love the black and the wood combination, but most of all, I just love the history of the piece.
I mean, and it was in rough shape. It had paint all over it. I mean, it's so dirty. You cleaning that thing was gross. So it's so fun to bring something back to life from 1947. I mean, I just can't get over that. And my favorite, I love the handles that we found. And I'm with you. I love the black and the wood. That two-tone, I think, is like my new obsession with furniture right now. Who knew? I used to be anti-contrast, but it's definitely, I've warmed up to it. So let's talk numbers. So we bought the cabinet for $70. We put about $50 into it, but 25 of that was the plexiglass I put on top, and that's just because otherwise it's going to get water damage from our customers. So it would have been even, we would only spend about $100 cost total, but as it was, we spent $125, and then we sold it to our owner for just $200. We obviously could have sold it for much more elsewhere, but he's a good boss, so I want to give him a good deal. So we made $75 profit, not our best per hour, but right now we're just in this to learn and have fun and learn new techniques and find things that we absolutely love doing and doing more of that. And I love doing this project. That was really fun.
Yeah, it was really quick. And other than the heat, you know, it was a breeze.
I know that heat, the heat in the middle of the summer in Phoenix just slows us down. But yeah, all in all, it turned out great and the owner's happy and it looks great in the shop. So that's a wrap on the Project. Aloha!
Aloha!